Well, hello and good morning. Welcome back to the Inky Mornings with me, Kieron Seamons. We're going to get into some drawing today. I have no idea what we're going to do, but it'll be fun. I have a fly in the studio today and it is driving me mad. But that will not stop us having fun. It will not stop us having some drawing adventure. So if you got your pen and your paper and your brushes and all that stuff and you want to do some drawing, this is the best place to do, with over 3,000 drawing videos already. So you got a lot to draw along with. But let's add another one. Are you ready? Let's get into some drawing. Okay, so let's get into some drawing. Let's get into some ink. Let's get into some of that passion that we love. Let's find a pen to start with. That sounds okay. That looks okay. That'll do. Never too fussy about... oh, left my ink over there. Never too fussy about... which nib I'm going to use, because they simply okay. They simply are tools, you know. It's like I don't really get too that's lovely. Don't know why, but Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay. There's something deliciously gorgeous about that. I just got an idea. What would happen if I was to put some of my wet, muddy water on top of that? That has a lovely kind of feeling to it, doesn't it? Doesn't it just start to... I just feel like it just starts to kind of come alive, almost like... It starts to kind of give you a vision, you know, and that's what I love about it. I love this kind of feeling that it almost like comes alive as you're thinking about it. I've lost my nib. Was it that one? And see, I start to see stuff straight away. I do really I do love that. I start to see a horse. I kind of like, I don't know, it's like I almost kind of feel like it's sitting down, like a human would sit almost. I have no idea why, but it just has that kind of... I almost feel like it's slumped over almost, you know. And that's the beauty of art. It kind of like... It kind of... You know, a scribble or a shape. You know, sometimes I'm sitting there and maybe like, you know... sitting on the toilet or something, and there's like someone's house has got like wallpaper, it's all patterns, and you start looking at the patterns and you start thinking, oh, that looks like a little bit of a giraffe, or you start, you know, you do kind of get to that point in your life, if you're kind of like trying to be very creative about your life and the things around you. You start to see things in everything that you look at. You know, you start looking down at the ground. I picked up a stone the other day. And it just, as I looked down at my feet, it looked like this stone was looking up at me. It was smiling at me. I was like, wow. I had to pick it up, put it in my pocket. You know, it's like, I get terrible with stuff like that. I gotta see things in everything now. But that's also a beautiful thing. You know, that's kind of also what's feeding into the Norman stories. I'm almost like halfway through now. It's like that's what kind of gets to where it feeds your stories. It feeds your mind. It's like, you know, I think sometimes like when I go to sleep, my brain is still off doing something. You know. My brain is usually very active, so very difficult to turn it off. You know, I do see those people that kind of sit down there and can just kind of like nod off. They just fall asleep. It's like, how did you do that? How did you just fall asleep? I do get very jealous about it. I do get extremely kind of jealous about the way that people can just sit down and they're instantly they kind of fall asleep. Like, what? How does that happen? You know, I couldn't do that. I simply could not do it. I start sitting down and my brain, you know, like my second brain is like just saying like, chill out, man. And then, you know, the other brain is just going, well, what are we gonna do for the next book? Oh yeah, we could do. Yeah, we could do that, couldn't we? Yeah, why don't we? You know. And I find it very difficult. Very difficult to just switch off. Very difficult. Very, 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 very difficult. And this is already starting to feel beautiful. I can almost feel his. Like I mentioned, I didn't know if I'm going to draw him sitting down or not. But as I mentioned the fact of him sitting down, I almost kind of felt like him sitting down being fed up with something. You know, I don't want to be a racehorse anymore, or something like that. You know. And I never really see horses with big teeth, but I always imagine horses have got big teeth. So quite often when I draw a horse, I do kind of add very large, kind of goofy teeth to them. I don't know. If there's any horse people out there, do tell me. Do horses naturally have big, goofy teeth? That's a very nice expression. I can almost feel his kind of fed upness, you know. Is fed upness a word? Fed upness? I don't know. And that's what my horse is. He's kind of fed up. I don't want to be a horse. I don't want to be a horse anymore. I was trying to say I don't want to be a horse, like a race horse anymore. But I actually said I don't want to be a horse anymore. So I prefer that. Yeah, my second brain has kind of said it's something completely different to what I was thinking about. Yeah, I don't want to be a horse anymore. I want to be a koala bear or something like that, you know. Something. While the world is going mad, we are drawing. How beautiful is that? We are drawing. And that is a really, really beautiful expression. I love that kind. You know, you're almost hearing going. Put a sound effect on it. That's very lovely. It really does say a lot, doesn't it? Ah, poor horse. Oh my, what a poor horse you are. Yeah. And what are you drawing today? What are you drawing? What are you drawing? I'd love to know what you're drawing. I love the way the horses have got these kind of joints in their legs. It's like I kind of see like horses are almost like ballet dancers, the way they run and jump and do all these amazing things, these tiny little feet. Beautiful. I do like that. I do love the whole kind of way that his hunched over feeling has come down like that. Oh. Broke both of the nibs off. Was enjoying that nib. I'm breaking far too many nibs. Ooh, it's a bit wobbly, that one. Don't like that. There's something very beautiful about drawing animals. It really is quite a love of mine. I do love kind of having these caricatures of animals. It really does excite me. It's one of the great pleasures. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I have been shading in a lot. I'm not quite sure where that has come from. Has it come from doing the Norman books? I'm not quite sure. Lovely. That's his arm coming down through there. I have been working on the Norman book quite intensely, but at the same time, I have been having other thoughts of a new book as well, which is just terrible because I don't want it to kind of overshadow what I'm kind of doing now with Norman, which, you know, you kind of get to that point where you're getting so many ideas that you can kind of like, oh well, I like that one. Oh, but oh, maybe that would be better than the one I'm doing. You know, you gotta stop that. You gotta be careful. Can't get into all that. This one's better than that one. Otherwise, you start getting into problems. That's kind of like where you start getting into kind of mental issues. You know. What do you mean this story is better than that story? Well, you know, we could do that, and we could do the illustrations like this, and we could do the okay. In fact, maybe that's what I'm kind of thinking here while I'm doing this. Maybe I'm already starting to think about what illustrations for the book that's coming, you know. It's like, well, stop that, stop that, stop that. How many of you actually do write and illustrate your own books? I'd love to know. I do love that kind of beauty in people. I love that kind of constant creativity in people, you know. I know there's a lot of people out there that are extremely, madly creative. And I'm kind of feeling like I'm almost like desperate to kind of get in there and get a nice kind of tail going. Oh, that has come up lovely. Like that. I like that a lot. I really love that. It's almost like he's sitting on a little stool. You know, he's got like a little, some kind of little stool that he's sitting on there. I love the way that the joints work on a horse. It's just incredible. It does my head in sometimes. And you sit and look at how animals are kind of put together. It's just beautiful. And that's his hind legs coming down there. Lovely. Really, really nice. There's a very nice kind of angle and shape there with him. It looks, for me, it kind of comes across as being really lovely. I'm trying to kind of get his legs kind of like bent down and buckled over, like he's not really bothered anymore. It's just so fed up he's not even thinking of his pose. He's just bending his legs all over, you know. Totally. Again, just trying to get in there and give him a very, very uncomfortable pose, almost like he just doesn't care, you know. I love that. So yeah, the Worry Lips book is coming along very well. I know people have asked. Try not to give too much away, and I do want to talk about it, but at the same time, I don't want to. I felt like last time I kind of gave too much away too early, and people were saying, "Oh, well, that's why. Oh, I see. Oh, is that why you're?" You know. So this time I'm trying to stay a little bit quiet about things. But it is going to be fabulous. I'm starting to feel really good about it. I have to say that. I'm starting to feel really good about it. The funny thing was that when I finished book one, I already had this kind of adrenaline kind of pumping away for book two. I already had this kind of, and it was really quite I don't know if I had enough energy after doing the book one. I really don't. I was very, very, very exhausted after doing book one. It had kind of taken a little bit more than I thought it would. And, you know, as I'm sure a lot of artists get to that point where I wasn't even sure if it worked, you know. You kind of get to that point of self-doubt sometimes, that you're just going, well, as you're writing it and as you're going through the processes, you're starting to think, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. This could possibly be the best book ever in history. And you think, oh my God, it's such a great idea. It's such beautiful. It's amazing. And then once you get it finished, it's like this fear comes across you. And it's like, oh, is it good? Does it work? Should I? Oh, I don't know. And you get this terrible, terrible, terrible kind of sense of fear come over you. Is it any good? Will people like it? What happens if it's rubbish? You know, it's a very kind of difficult feeling. And I did go through that. I did kind of thinking, well, maybe I should have. Oh, maybe at this point I should have done that. Maybe this part here and there I should have done. Maybe you should have. You know, and you kind of go through that whole rewriting. And in fact, I actually I had it finished, and I did pull it back for a little while, kind of to reassess everything, really. It was like the whole kind of story started to feel like, did I take it in the wrong direction? And it's exactly the same thing I'm doing at the moment. I'm writing this new story, and you do kind of get to a point where you do kind of think, am I going in the right direction? Maybe they shouldn't have done that. Maybe, oh dear, dear, dear. And you start getting extremely kind of panicked about the whole thing. And that's kind of where I got to the other night, and I kind of sat myself down and beat myself up, and it's kind of like it's. I mean, I used to do it a lot when I was doing the oil paints, when I was I was very, 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 very negative with that. I would kind of like get to the point where you've done a painting and it's taken you a couple of weeks of hard stress and such, and you kind of get to this point where it's like the color looks strange. That part there looks really, oh no, I don't like that. Oh, what? And you start to rip it apart. You really do just rip it apart. You get to a point where it's just like nothing about it you like. And you really do destroy it. And it's a very, very bad thing, but you do. That is my horse, my retired racehorse. Oh man, I like him. The retired racehorse. Is that the title of it? Is that what we're going with? The retired racehorse. Okay, well let's get a nice kind of frame for him, for the retired racehorse. The retired racehorse. I like that title. That is a good title. This ink, people have asked why I swap ink to do the framing. This ink is actually a little bit drier, and I feel like the kind of breaking up, like it's breaking up there, adds a lot to the framing. So yes, it is for those very intelligent and quick to pick up people. Yes, it is a different ink. It's not it's more of a kind of I remember buying some printer's ink and stuff like that, and so I'm not too sure which exact ink it is, but it is it's a very dry ink. It's almost like as soon as you put it down, it's kind of like done. It doesn't want to move. No. And it's a very odd. That'd be a beautiful one in color. It's a very odd ink. But because of the dryness of it, I find it very too unforgiving for the illustrations, because I do find it like sometimes I put the ink down and I want to keep working the ink and I want to keep moving the ink and I want to do that with the ink and do that with the ink, and it's still wet, and it gives you that patience. It's kind of like, okay, I know you've put me down, but I know you're still thinking about it. So whereas this ink is dry, it kind of goes down, right, leave me alone. Sometimes it's a little bit like that. So sometimes it's kind of has that kind of or rather kind of fed up feeling to it. I do like that one. That's a nice one. It is the retired racehorse will be the title for today's video. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, do tell me. And if you didn't, tell me why not. Don't be shy. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to know where you all from, and just say hi. Just say hi. I watched your video today. I'm from Outer Mongolia. There you go, like that. And that would be a beautiful insight for me and for everybody. It's like, it's also nice to kind of build up a little bit of a kind of a community almost, And yes, Mr. Miro is asleep. He's tucked away on the side. So there we have it. That is today's drawing. And if you enjoyed it, let me know. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you think about today's wonderful adventure with the retired racehorse. And thank you for all the donations also. I love you all. Those donations keep this channel alive, okay? You keep the ink, you keep the paper, so please keep your donations coming. And your comments. At the end of the day, I love to sit down and to read through all your comments and reply to all your comments. So it is a very, very, very beautiful part of my day to see what people are thinking. And, you know, sometimes it's like even about what is the next direction. What am I doing next, you know? And sometimes your kind of chatting helps, you know? So, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for sharing your time. I have really, really, really enjoyed today. And I really, really look forward to doing another drawing for you very soon. Back on my channel every day. See you there again soon. Bye-bye.